Hello and welcome back to the OSM channel. In today's video, I'm going to teach you everything I know about chainsaw maintenance. I'm going to kind of give you a basic understanding of how everything works too. The only thing we're not really going to dive into is how to sharpen a chain, because I think that's a video in and of itself. But this is my baby right here. This is my MS-261. This is a Steel Pro Series saw. This is actually their smallest and lightest Pro Series handled saw, right? Like, I'm not talking about the top handle chainsaws, but this is, in my opinion, the perfect firewood saw. Just lightweight, powerful, and it'll get through just about anything you put in front of it. So, if you want your investment, your baby, to last a long time, it's important that you keep up on regularly scheduled maintenance. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the side cover here, take off the bar, take off the chain. We'll start cleaning this out, and I'll show you some tips and tricks along the way. Alright, before we even take the side cover off, I want to cover my first point, and that is to always treat this chain like it's super sharp, and you never want to put it down on anything that could damage the sharpened teeth, because we spend a lot of time sharpening these teeth. We don't want those teeth to get damaged. So whenever I'm out in the woods and I have the bar cover off, I'll always try and find a logger, a stick, or something to put underneath the bar, so that way this doesn't fall down on a rock and damage or chip one of the teeth. Same principle when I'm working on the workbench. I lay down a piece of cardboard or something that's not going to damage the teeth. So now we're going to take off the side cover. In my case, just going to crack these capture nuts with this T-handled wrench. Because this is a Pro Series saw, these are capturing nuts, so they're not going to fall off the cover. Also, what I'm going to do, take the flat end of this T-handled tool, go in between the two capture nuts, twist this counterclockwise, and that's going to loosen up the chain tension. So we'll loosen this up a little bit. Unthread these nuts the rest of the way. I can take this cover off. It's not too dirty, but we're definitely going to need to clean this up. From here, I can just slide this off sideways. We can take this and put it aside. So now that we have the bar off, what I typically like to do is just get all this junk out of here. So I like to use kind of like an old paintbrush, something like that, and I'll just kind of go in here and knock off some of the big stuff. And then after I'm finished with this, what I'll do is I'll take this, put this over the trash can, we'll take an air wand, and then we'll spray out the rest of this stuff and get this nice and clean. And then we'll talk about what actually is going on in here. While we're at it, let's also clean out this side cover. And also the bar. When I'm cleaning out the bar, I like to take the air wand and go down along the length of the channel too. So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about how this whole mechanism works, because I feel like a lot of people don't really have a good understanding of how this whole system works and how the oiler works, which oiler is kind of the main thing I want to focus on here. So we have an inboard clutch, drives the chain rides in the groove on the bar, and then also you got to remember that the chain tension needs to be adjusted, right? If you have a new chain, you're probably going to have the bar back some. If it's an older chain that's a little bit worn in, you're probably going to have to extend the bar out a little bit. And this bar just rides forward and backwards depending where we set it to adjust the chain tension. And it's really important you have a proper chain tension, because if you don't, that chain could pop off and it could actually catch you in the leg. That's actually part of the purpose of this right here. This is actually a chain catch. So if the chain does pop off the bar and it's kind of rotating forward, that's supposed to help kind of stop the chain and hopefully help prevent it from going into your leg. So always wear your chaps, people. So we have the two studs right here. So the studs right in this groove right here. Now if we take a look at these other two holes right here, what are these holes for? Well, these holes are for this adjustment pin. So if I put the bar on like so, you see how that little adjustment pin sits into that little hole right there? So that's what allows us to adjust this bar forward or backwards. So now if I take my T-handle tool and fit it into this little flathead screw right here, if I rotate this clockwise, what it's going to do is it's actually going to push the bar forward. So see, rotating it clockwise and the bar is slowly being pushed forward. If I want to back off the tension, rotate this counterclockwise, and that pin will start moving backwards, therefore loosening up that bar tension. So that's what these two holes are for on the bar. Now I know what you're saying, well, why is there a bar on the bottom and the top? Well, actually this bar is flippable. You can flip it in either direction, and I recommend every time you sharpen the chain, I'd recommend you flipping the bar. But it's important that you understand that, because a lot of people are under the misconception that this is where the oil gets injected into the groove of the bar. That's not the case. Where the oil actually gets injected is this little hole right here. Now the oiler slot is actually right here. It's this big long groove. Because again, you got to remember that we slide the bar forward and backwards to adjust the chain tension. The bar oiler has to account for that, and that's why there's this long groove right here. So this little hole right here will meet up somewhere along this channel. And again, if I flip the bar over, you see that there's another little oiler hole right here. And again, that's just going to sit somewhere in that channel. So you fill up your chainsaw with bar oil, goes through some type of pump, pumps up that pressure a little bit, and then it gets injected through this channel, goes through this hole right here, gets injected in the bar, and then the chain will carry that bar oil down along the length of the bar and lubricate the bar and just help to prolong the longevity of the life of the bar. So now we know that the bar oil is injected into the bar through this little hole right here. We also have to keep into consideration that this groove may get gummed up with sawdust and wood chips and tree sap, things of that nature. So whenever you go to sharpen your chain and you take the bar off your chainsaw, always get some type of fine-tipped object and just go down along the length of this bar and try and clear out any crud that may be caught in there. See, we got a little bit out of there. But also ensure that this orifice is clear and open, so that way we know that the oiler is going to work properly. Give the bar a quick wipe down. Use a little bit of WD-40 if you'd like. Now while the chain is riding in the groove of this bar, over time this will wear down this bar and this will need replacement at some point. But what happens over time is the edge of this bar begins to mushroom over a little bit. So every time you take your bar off, here's what you do. Take a finger, carefully pull back on the bar. If you feel like there's a little lip forming, which I can definitely feel a little lip right here, what you do, take a flat file, keep it flat with the bar, and just take off that lip. You want this to be flat as possible. That also could screw up your cuts when you're going to cut through a tree. So now I'm feeling this now, and I'm not feeling any lip. So I'll repeat that on all four sides. So the bar internal groove is clear. There is no lip. The bar is clean. It's in good shape. This is ready for reassembly, so we'll put this off to the side. We'll get back to working on the head unit. One thing that drives me absolutely nuts is when wood chips stick around where the bar oil fill cap is. And the best way to clean that up, again, is with an air wand. Do the same thing on the fuel cap. Clean up our work area a little bit. Let's pop off this top cover and inspect the air filter, and maybe we'll give that a quick clean. So in order to pop the top cover off on this 261, you want to take your 4-position control lever, slide it down, quarter turn fastener counterclockwise here. 2. There's a third one right here. This cover should come right off. You may need to press your decompression switch. A little wiggle, comes right out. Not too dirty. We'll give this a quick light blow. Not too bad. Looking at our air filter, it's not bad, but as I was blowing out the internal components a little bit, I saw a little bit of dust come out of there. So it's probably a good idea that we blow this out. So in order to remove this, leave this as a quarter turn. It pulls straight out. Looking at the inside of the filter, I don't see anything that got through, so that's good. So we'll put this off to the side for a moment. take our air filter and we'll just blow this out, try and get it as clean as possible. Reinstall this air filter on our saw. Push down, should be a quarter turn. It is locked in tight, that looks good. Just inspecting the top of the unit. Spark plug still making good contact. No real debris buildup on the inside. Everything looks good. Just lightly dust off the top of the cover. Blow that out real quick. Reinstall the top cover. Little wiggle. 3 fasteners, quarter turn clockwise now. Beautiful. I think we are ready for reassembly. Alright, let's reinstall this bar and chain back on this chainsaw. So what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be aligning these 2 pins inside this channel right here. So I'm just going to kind of hold down the chain, pinch it a little bit so that it stays in the groove of the bar. So we'll put the bar in those 2 studs right there, and I'm going to slide it all the way back towards the saw. From there, I'm going to ensure that the chain goes underneath this chain guard right here. I'm going to take the chain, engage it with the inbound clutch, ensuring that the chain remains in the groove of the bar. And I'm going to slide this bar forward until this adjustment dowel locks in with this hole on the bar. From here, I'm going to take my T-handled wrench, put the flat head in this adjustment screw, rotate this clockwise, and you can see that the bar is starting to move forward. Some of that chain tension is beginning to pick up. And I'm just going to get this started. Now you can take your side cover, gently place it over the bar, and start these capture nuts by hand. We're not going to get these snug yet, we're just going to get them hand tight. So now we need to set the proper tension on the chain. Now, here's what I'd recommend. If you have a block of wood laying around, that's going to be helpful. But what you need to know is that the bar has a little bit of up and down play. If you adjust the bar with it down, what's going to happen, that bar, due to the nature of the chainsaw and the forces we're going to be putting on it, that bar is going to work its way up a little bit. So it's important that when you're adjusting the tension on your chainsaw that you lift up the nose of that bar a little bit. So I'm going to take this little piece of wood, just put it down in front of the bar, and just hold some forward pressure on it like so. So putting forward pressure on the bar, lifting up this chain right now, I actually like this chain tension right now. The way I was taught to adjust a chain was to lift up on the chain, and if you can see that triangle, when you lift up hard on the chain, that triangle groove is just coming above the bar. That's about the right tension. So now that I'm happy with that chain tension, while applying forward pressure down on the bar to ensure that that front nose is going to be positioned slightly upward, I'm going to take my T-handle wrench, start tightening down these capture nuts. So now that these 2 are tight, take the block of wood out of here, we'll check the chain tension one more time. And to me, that is the proper chain tension. But I'm sure I'm going to have some disagreements in the comment section. And that concludes today's video on chainsaw maintenance. The only thing I need to do now is just sharpen up the chain, but I'm not going to make a video about that today. Too many keyboard warriors. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.